Hi, this is Jack Litzelfelder, and this is another in the series of It's All About the Experience. The model for any business is really find new customers and keep the ones that you have. Not only is it exhausting finding new customers, it's expensive. As a matter of fact, it can cost as much as 6 times more to find a new customer than to keep the ones that you have. So clearly, when it comes to getting a customer, you want to keep them. I recently saw a study that showed why good customers leave. Let me share with you this study because I found it interesting. It said 1% of the people who leave you, your good customers, 1% of them leave you because they die. Not much you can do about that. 3%, they move. Again, not much you can do. 9% leave for competitive reasons. They find a better price somewhere else. 14% leave because they found a better product or process. Maybe the product was better, the process in getting it was a little more simple. But here's the key thing that shocked me. 63% of your customers, your good customers who leave, they leave because of an attitude of indifference from the owners, managers, and employees. 63% of the people leave because of reasons that we can control. Sam Walton once said the biggest killer in business today is not bad customer service, it's neutral customer service. It's not good or bad, it just is. I recently went to my big national chain hardware store. I needed a special light for a project that we were doing, a special light bulb for a project we were doing in our house. And of course, there was no one in the light bulb department, so I tracked someone down. I told them I was looking for this specific light bulb, and they said to me, well, the light bulb's on aisle 27. I knew that. Light bulbs were on aisle 27. Is that bad experience? I don't know. It's what I expect today. I buy a car. From the day I walk into the dealership and I take a test drive until I give them a check, I'm the most important guy in the world. But the day I drive off the lot, no one remembers who I am. I actually remember one time I bought a car, and I'm in there every other day looking at the car. I'm getting a phone call from the salesperson every other day. He's sending me notes. He's following up with phone calls. I finally buy the car. I drive off the lot, and literally 4 days later, I saw him in a mall, and he gave me one of these looks like, I know you, but I don't know where. It was 4 days later after I bought a car from him. Is that bad service? I don't know. It's what I've learned to expect over the years. But let me tell you about a recent experience that wowed me, that will get me to go back. I actually bought a car from a dealer in my hometown. It was a pleasant experience. The negotiations went fine. There wasn't anything dramatic about it, but I drove the car off the lot, and I figured that was probably the end of my experience with the dealership. But to my surprise, now get this, the day I drove off the lot, I got a phone call from the owner of the dealership. He called me up. He said, Mr. Litz, my name is Tim Code. I own the dealership where you just bought the car. And I just want to let you know, I appreciate you buying a car from us. I know you have choices. And by the way, I want to give you my personal number if you ever have any questions or problems. Now, in all the years I've bought cars, how many phone calls do you think I've ever got from the owner of the dealership? Zip. But it doesn't stop there. 2 days later, I got a phone call from the head of the service department. He called me on my cell phone. He said, Mr. Litz, I want to introduce myself to you. I run the service department over here at Coach Chevrolet, and I just want to let you know we appreciate you buying a car from us. And when you get that car up around a couple thousand miles, give me a call. We'll send a loaner out for you for the day, and we'll do some fine adjustments and fine tune-ups on you. It's like, wow, when does that ever happen to me? Never. Right? And it doesn't stop there. About 3 or 4 days later, I get a phone call from a gal who identified herself as being in the customer satisfaction department. I didn't even know they had that, or what it was. But she said, I just want to take a few minutes and see if I can ask you some questions about your experience in buying a car from us and if there was anything we could have done better. When does that ever happen? I gave 5 minutes of her time. And it's interesting, a couple of days later, she sent me a thank you note with a gift certificate to Starbucks in there for taking the time to answer her questions. And then, I'm not exaggerating here, about 2 weeks later, I get a handwritten card from the guy who sells me the car. And it was a personal card. It wasn't just a thanks for your business and has his business card inside. It was personal. It even had some things about my family in there. So I know he wrote a personal note. And in there he said, thanks for buying from Code Chevrolet. By the way, I know you want to keep a car like that nice and shiny. Enclosed is a coupon to a car wash. Compliments of Code Chevrolet. It's like, wow. I've never had that happen. Now, it's interesting. Who do you think, when it comes time for me to buy another car, who do you think I'll buy a car from? Is it because of the car that I got? Or is it because of the experience that they put me through? I could have got a Chevy from anywhere, but the experience that I went through is second to none. Now, in addition to that, do you think I've ever told anybody about it? I tell everybody I know about my experience at Coach Chevrolet because of the experience. So here's my point. This company realizes that customer service is not about a department. It's who they are. It's what they all are about. Everyone is about customer service. 63% of your customers leave because of an attitude of indifference. Don't let that happen to you. Exceed their expectations before, during, and after they become a customer.